YouTube. It's been a minute since I've posted on here, so I wanted to make this video nice and valuable. And so what I wanted to talk about, so before we start the video, I just wanted to preface that I think I have a kidney infection. So if I kind of, tremble on my words a little bit, please cut me some slack. I'm a little bit low energy today, but I did have a lot of inspiration as far as what I wanted to teach you guys today. And I got this message on Instagram recently about subconscious reprogramming and how our subconscious mind works in manifestation. So I just want to reiterate, I think I've talked about this on my channel before. The law of attraction is always working. It's always working based on your beliefs and your ability to receive those, well, not even the ability to receive. Your subconscious mind is always pulling in exactly what you believe is true into your life. So if you are believing that things are hard in your life, then your lens on life is going to be that life is really hard, and there will be a lot of situations in which that is tested and becomes evidence of that belief. And I know that a lot of people, there's this one person that I have known for a long time who talks a lot about wanting to change, right? And this is something that we all do. We all want to change. We all want to be better. But the reality is we can consciously want to change, but our subconscious mind is always going to pull us back to the equilibrium that holds all of our belief systems. So for instance, like if you are calling in, you're trying to manifest a partner that you are madly in love with, that treats you well, but you have a underlying belief that all men are trash and everyone cheats, and the complete opposite, basically. Like maybe you grew up in a super abusive household like I did, and for me, like my belief system was that men always abandon me, and that's not true anymore. But that was something that I had to realize and face after my last relationship, because I was so sad that he left, and was so sad that I was a victim to the situation. But in reality, I was at cause for the situation, because my belief system was that I believe that men abandon women, because that was what happened in my childhood years, or that like people get married not for love. People get married because of necessity and not because they actually love each other. So I've had a very deep-rooted fear of marriage for a very long time. But until I went in and looked at those fears and really allowed myself to feel the feelings of how I felt when I was younger, when I was observing those things, I probably wouldn't have been able to change them, and my life wouldn't be the same. I'd probably be stuck in that same relationship or something similar. Like I probably would have gone straight into another relationship and would have seen the same dynamics of feeling abandoned. So until I went into my own subconscious mind and picked apart the parts that felt abandoned, felt like love was hard, and changed the story, changed my belief systems through hypnosis, through constant affirmations. Like we're rewiring our brain to believe something new, so it's going to take some time, right? But until I did that, I didn't see a lot going on in my life. I was given a lot of tests. So for instance, like after my last relationship, I was pretty much single for 2 years or so. Like we tried to get back together. I got pregnant with Gray, and then we were like for sure broken up, and that's been over a year. And in that time that I had to myself to just kind of introspect and be pregnant and understand like what went wrong in the relationship, I realized that it was my subconscious mind that had attracted him in the first place. Like he and I, like I don't think he's a bad person. I think that there are a lot of like deeper dynamics that go into every relationship, but I do know that subconsciously, like when I first met him, I thought he was the love of my life. I knew for sure he was going to be the father of my kids, which he is, but but my subconscious mind, because I believed that men always abandon me, that love is really hard, our relationship reflected that. He was super avoidant. He literally like walked in front of me when we were walking, and that really bothered me, but I allowed that to slide because I didn't believe that I was worthy of a love that I wanted. Like I felt like I always had to work hard to have love in my life. And until I looked at those beliefs when I was pregnant and was like, oh shit, like love can be easy. Also, like, I'm gonna write a manifestation list of everything that I want because I deserve everything that I want. Until I realized those things, put in that work, my life just still reflected those beliefs. But I'm glad that I took time between relationships to really see that. So now I'm in a new relationship, and I'm in a situation where I've done a lot of work, and I don't think that the work ever stops, to be honest, but I've done a lot of work around my subconscious programs around love specifically. And I've found that as I did that, my relationships to my dad, my stepdad got better, and I called in a partner that is exactly everything that I want. Like, I've been a big manifestation list person for a while. That's actually how I found spirituality and self-discovery, was through manifestation practices, because I was trying to call in a life that was like not equal to the one that I was seeing. And over the years, I have honed in on how I specifically manifest well. And for me, that's manifestation lists and doing subconscious work. It's super easy for me to manifest things like that. And part of it is because I get very clear on what I want, like very, very clear. And so when I met my partner, he asked me what I was looking for in a partner. And I was able to show him my list and just be like, look, like these are all my non-negotiables. Like, it's cool if you don't meet them, but these are my non-negotiables. So it's going to be hard for me to settle on any of these things. And I think in doing that, he was, one, more attracted to me, and two, like, it allowed him to be a little bit more open to understanding what he really wanted in a relationship. And luckily, he and I both want the same things. We both value the same things. And I basically attracted myself in. There's this quote that one of my friends posted about manifesting a partner. It's like, if you want that partner, you have to be that partner yourself. Like, if you want a partner who's loving and communicative, like, you have to be loving and communicative. If you want a partner who's trustworthy and has integrity, you have to be that first. You can't expect a partner to be all of these things and you are just kind of like, yeah, you know, I just like do whatever I want, like whatever. No, like, you have to be that partner first. And that's what I was doing when I was single and pregnant and totally isolated. Like, I was dating around a little bit, and I'm glad that I did while I was pregnant, because I was given some tests to see how high my self-worth was at the time. Like, for instance, when I was about, I want to say 7 months pregnant. No, I had to be 6 months pregnant. I went on a date with someone in Colorado, and totally a fuckboy. Like, I still had these like feelings of like, oh, like, why didn't he like me? Like, I don't know. He like ghosted me, all these things, and I felt really shitty about it. And then I looked at that and I was like, okay, that was a moment of feeling unworthy and chasing something because I felt unworthy. Let's double back and come back to self-love, see what practices I need to do to like reiterate to myself that I'm worthy of love, and that dude is a fuckboy. Like, ew. But I mean, the subconscious programs that I had were very deep, right? Like I felt very unworthy of finding love. And so, you know, anytime a boy would treat me like shit, I'd be like, oh, well, why doesn't he like me? Like seeking their approval, because that's what I did with my dad. Another date that I went on in November, which was probably 7 months pregnant, I met this guy, was really into him, and I just could feel myself chasing that same energy, right? Of like chasing someone who he was like interested in me, but then I could feel him pull back, and then that made me want him more, and that made me look at my dynamics of my anxious attachment and how I personally attract avoidance. So it made me realize like, oh, like when I feel those butterflies in the first couple of minutes of meeting someone, that's not actually like chemistry. That's my anxious and avoidant attachment style reacting. And that's a signal to my body that it's not the right person. But I didn't know that until this third person that I went on a date with, starting in like December. We went on a couple of dates, and he felt safe. Like I knew he wasn't the one because I wasn't really sexually attracted to him. But he helped to expand my awareness around how I wanted to feel in a man's presence. And with him, I felt very safe. He was probably like 10 years older than me and like well established in his life. So he gave me an experience where I could see someone who was direct with the communication, which I value so much. Who's honest, who was loving, and treated me well. Like he took me out on to some really nice restaurants. He was super humble, even though he was definitely well off. Like we didn't even talk about money, but you can just kind of tell. But all three of these experiences gave me confidence in my ability to attract the right partner, because I was able to look at my subconscious programs and the way that my body reacts and choose a different way through the awareness that I learned from those experiences. So hopefully that makes sense to you as far as understanding how manifestation works with your subconscious mind and how it's always working, and how to do some of the work. If you want help, I would love to help you. I have my Sacred and Divine Goddess program open for group coaching all the time. But if you want to work with me one-on-one, please let me know. I'll drop a couple links in the description box below so that you guys can get in contact with me. And hopefully I'll be more consistent on here. I cannot make promises right now because I am definitely going through a 4-month regression period with my kiddo. So me time is few and far between, but I will definitely be posting again. And hopefully this video has some value packed in it. And if you did find value in it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that if you know someone who this would benefit from, please share with them as well. So I will see you guys very soon. I don't know when, but thank you guys for showing up and listening to my TED Talk. Bye.